Here is the grifting portion of the day. Because you know what this administration and this MAGA movement does is they mix so well. The one thing they do well is they mix stupidity with grifting. Here's Dr. Oz, who was also standing behind him. You know, that guy that used to be on TV who says he's a doctor.
The FDA, based on NIH research, is approving prescription leucovorin for treatment of autistic children. Now, if you're following the script, there should be two questions that you have, two questions that should come to your mind. The first is, how will patients and parents get access to the treatment? I'll tell you how. Over half of American children are covered by Medicaid and CHIP, government health insurance, over half. And therefore, because they're covered in Medicaid and CHIP, upon this label change by Marty, state Medicaid programs in partnership with CMS will cover prescription leucovorin around the country. It's yours, but you have to go to a doctor to get a prescription because they know your child, they know you, and they know the medication. States will also have tools to monitor its use and ensure appropriate utilization. That's important for a bunch of reasons because we want the right kids getting the right prescription medications. We believe private insurance companies will rapidly follow our lead if they have not already done so.
Dr. Oz, at that press conference talking about autism yesterday, said that the FDA is approving leucovorin. Leucovorin, hey, you know, if you feel a sales pitch version of that. If you buy today, you might get a second bottle for free. If you order in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, as the ticker goes down, call 1-800-Leucovorin, and you're going to get your second bottle. Just add extra shipping and handling, maybe more processing costs, but you'll get your second bottle for free. You know how you can get it? Hurry up and get it. Hurry up and get it. I feel like we shouldn't be so dumb that we didn't see this going down the way it was going down. People magazine was pointing out leucovorin as as now has been presented for it. There's something about leucovorin. Let me give you guys some details that I'm not sure if Dr. Oz went in such detail. It's from this People magazine article. It says the FDA did issue an official notice saying that it was approving this tablet of leucovorin, a folinic acid supplement, as a treatment for autism. Leucovorin is a form of vitamin B first used in the 1950s to treat the side effects of chemotherapy. The supplement should not be given universally and is not a cure, is what Dr. Karam Radwan, who's the director of the University of Chicago Medicine Neurodevelopmental Clinic, tells People magazine. Okay, there's maybe some uses. Let's go into potential of some of the things about leucovorin that Dr. Oz was just talking about. As the Washington Post explains, leucovorin is typically used to treat vitamin B9 deficiency or manage side effects from other medications. Ongoing clinical trials have shown it may help children with autism who struggle with communication. It's something that we think might be able to help a lot of children, is what Richard Fry, a pediatric neurologist, told the outlet. But he also said that the research is still in its early stages, explaining we're still on the 10-yard line. And I also want to remind you guys, he said it may help children with autism who struggle with communication, because if you actually look into things, you may understand that there's a spectrum here, and some folks are affected in other ways than many other people are. So if you have Dr. Oz and RFK Jr. and Donald Trump standing up there going, leucovorin, 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 cure all, be all, it's because they're not going to tell you the rest of this story. This leucovorin, quote, this leucovorin, or the scientific name that we use for its folinic acid, is a version of a B9 that bypasses some of these additional steps that your body needs to make in order to convert folic acid to something that can cross your brain barrier. That's what that same Dr. Radwan said. There are some studies showing some benefit in improving communication with these kids. However, he said the benefits were often modest, adding that the problem with leucovorin's studies is that there are not many, and that these studies have like 50 patients here, 40 patients there. More though, because this really gets detailed. But be cautious. It's not a cure, they say. You're not going to see people improving in days when we start using it, adding that I use it in my practice when it's appropriate and then find the right patient. Not when Dr. Oz stands in front of a podium and says, leucovorin, leucovorin, go get you some. Hey, you can get it this way. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get. In other words, normally when doctors who have a relationship with their patients and they talk to them about what it is that could potentially help with whatever it is that they're prescribing or talking to them about, not based in Dr. Oz from a podium standing in front of Donald Trump saying this stuff, might get better information for people. Let me finish this. It's not a one size fits all medication, is what that doctor then said, adding that it can also cause irritability and aggression in the wrong patient. But for those with the genetic pathways that are well-known identified issues when they cannot convert folic acid to the final product, that's definitely an appropriate use for folic acids. This doctor, again, who knows more than Donald Trump and Dr. Oz on this matter, specifically the one that Dr. Oz is trying to sell. But not everyone with autism has that issue, he explains. I'll say that sentence again. But not everyone with autism has that issue. We have to test for it and not give it universally, thinking that everybody should get leucovorin if you have autism. That would be the wrong message to send. But they're sending that message. Let me show you why Dr. Oz is sending that message that doctors who know what they're talking about said maybe you shouldn't send that message. Adam Cochran over on X says, by the way, iHerb, a company that Dr. Oz served as a global advisor for and still owns a major chunk of equity in, is the largest seller of folinic acid in the US. It's the non-prescription version of leucovorin. And as of today, it has rapidly sold out. iHerb has about 30% of the US supplement sales market, and California Gold Nutrition, another brand, is their own brand of in-house supplements, meaning that Dr. Oz is going to make a killing from this new recommendation. I wonder why Dr. Oz popped his dumb head up to talk about leucovorin. Leucovorin, this is how you can get it. Trust me, this is how you can get leucovorin. If you, as long as you get leucovorin, you're gonna make, it's gonna cure the autism. Don't take Tylenol when you're pregnant. Just don't do it. We knew Dr. Oz was a clown when he was running, I believe was he running for Senate? When he was running for office and he clowned himself in Pennsylvania multiple times, over and over again. Remember the crudité? He was in the grocery store trying to talk about the grocery store prices.
Thought I'd do some grocery shopping. I'm at Wegner's, and my wife wants some vegetables for crudité, right? So here's a broccoli. That's $2. Not a ton of broccoli there. Here's some asparagus. That's $4. Yep. And carrots. That's $4 more. That's $10 of vegetables there. And then we need some guacamole. That's $4 more. And she loves salsa. Yeah, there's salsa there. $6? Must be a shortage of salsa. Guys, that's $20 for crudité, and this doesn't include the tequila. I mean, that's outrageous. And we got Joe Biden to thank for this.
Maybe Dr. Oz can talk to us about grocery prices now again, since he's standing next to the guy who's caused them to skyrocket. Whatever. But Dr. Oz is trying to make some more money. You know why? Because Dr. Oz apparently is not rich enough, and he needs to find another grift based off of medical science that he's now shifting towards his bank account so he can make more money. So the message is Tylenol, bad. Leucovorin, good.